Please be seated. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I would now like to invite Mr. Chris Dobin, the representative of the Darug people, to offer traditional welcome to country. Mr. Tobin.
Thank you. Budri Malunawul, good morning, and welcome to the lands of the Wallamedigal. I belong to one of the Darug people. We're the traditional custodians over this part of the country. I wish to thank the university for their acknowledgement of us and for the invitation to welcome you all here this morning. That acknowledgement is important for our people and much appreciated, particularly by our elders. Education is highly valued in Aboriginal culture too. Knowledge meant survival, and our elders are traditionally accorded great respect for their accumulated wisdom and experience. My family descend from Yarramundi, a respected elder and cleverman of the Burrabrongal clan during the early years of colonisation. He saw that our survival in this new world could best be secured if we could learn more about it. And as such, he enrolled his daughter, Maria, into the Native Institution, a school set up in 1815 by Governor Macquarie himself, offering formal education to Aboriginal children. Maria studied there for several years and used her newly acquired skills to lobby and ultimately secure some land for herself and her family out along the Richmond Road. Other Aboriginal families soon joined them, and it became known as the Blackstown, where present-day Blacktown gets its name from. We are very proud of her, as I'm sure your families are of you here today. And with good reason. Your progress progresses us all. Your advancement is our advancement. Now that was perhaps more readily understood in traditional times when clan groups were smaller and people abided by strict sharing laws, which meant that the food that you caught and brought back was distributed throughout the rest of the camp. Your good fortune and efforts literally nourished the community, and you in turn were looked after by them. Yes, we can live quite beautifully when we get clever about it. Our Aboriginal ancestors certainly did in many respects, and I use today to offer them as a role model or a benchmark on how good we should expect our lives. You see, when Captain Cook arrived here a little over 200 years ago, he described the people he encountered at Botany Bay as one of the happiest people he had met in the world. They had nothing, he wrote, but the tools that they carried. They made shelters from the bark of trees without cutting them down, harvested the earth without tilling the land. We had rights to the country that you were born into. That was man or woman. You had rights to that clan country. So there was no homelessness and no rich and poor either. Everyone had pretty much the same amount of gear, what you could carry. We had no armies or jails or even police, no history of slavery or empire building. Our lands were maintained in their natural state. Rivers were clean and unpolluted, with people drinking out of them as they have done here for the past 20,000 years. Now, remember, this is not an ideal, this is normal life, or was. And there is no reason why we should expect less for ourselves and our children than what our ancestors enjoyed. So I would say to you, expect great things from your lives, and do great things. There is still a lot of magic in the world, and lots of opportunities to work together to create a world worthy of our children again. We can all do our bit. I'll do mine by winding up and letting you good people graduate. Just want to say congratulations to all of you and all the best in our collective futures. Thank you. Welcome to country.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to introduce the Deputy Chancellor of Macquarie University, Miss Elizabeth Crouch.
Graduates, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is my great privilege as Deputy Chancellor of Macquarie University to preside at this very important ceremony today. First, I welcome our graduates. I hope that you will be very happy, and this will be a very happy and memorable occasion for all of you. You deserve to take great pride in your graduation today. Completing a degree is never easy. You need an intelligent and inquiring mind. You need determination and perseverance. You need to make many sacrifices. But that hard work has paid off, and I congratulate each and every one of you on your achievements. Today, I also want to especially welcome those of you who are sitting behind our graduates as their invited guests, because you've all done well too. The very fact that you are here, the fact that you've been invited by one of our graduates to share one of the greatest days of their lives is proof positive that you've been an important influence. So, mothers and fathers, brothers and sisters, cousins, sons and daughters, grandmothers and grandfathers, friends, boyfriends and girlfriends, congratulations and thank you for celebrating this great occasion with us. I have another important service for you to perform for our newest graduates. I want you to make sure that the degrees they receive today are never ever put in the bottom drawer, but are always proudly displayed in a position of prominence. In other words, if our graduates are too modest to proclaim the success, I want you to do it for them. The ceremony that we're about to participate in is one of the world's oldest social rituals. For centuries, graduates have been donning robes just like the ones our graduates are wearing today and participating in ceremonies just like this. Indeed, there are some 50 universities in the world that can trace their history back more than 500 years. Macquarie, by comparison, is relatively young at only 49 years of age. However, in those 49 years, we've come a long way. We now have more than 145,000 graduates living in more than 140 countries. We've boosted postgraduate research programs and invested in high-performing academic and teaching staff for the benefit of our students. Macquarie is a very modern and outward-looking university. We are regarded as one of Australia's leading research universities and are currently extending our research as we are our course offering and facilities. We are always ready, willing and eager to engage with the outside world. On your way here today, you may have seen our new Macquarie University Hospital, which is used by students and academics in our School of Advanced Medicine. You may also have seen our new library, which provides a 21st century learning and research environment. And more recently, our new Advanced Hearing Hub, which is a world-leading institute dedicated to advances in hearing, speech and language sciences. So we're forward-looking and we're on the move. However, some of the things that we all value so much about Macquarie will not change. The friendliness of our staff and students that all our visitors comment upon and notice will continue. The beautiful park-like grounds that make this campus so enjoyable. These things will stay in your memory and remind you of your links with Macquarie, links that we hope you will maintain through our alumni network. Remember, you will always be welcome. We want Macquarie to always be a leader in teaching and learning and a leader in the accumulation of wisdom, knowledge and understanding. In other words, an ideal community of scholars. And in just a few minutes, it will be my very great honour to confer your degrees upon you and welcome you as lifelong members of that community of scholars we proudly call Macquarie University. Thank you.
Deputy Chancellor, I call on Mr Stephen Applebaum, who will be graduating today with a Masters of Commerce, to speak on behalf of the graduating group. Mr Applebaum.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Deputy Chancellor, members of the university, graduates and friends and family. Firstly, I'd like to thank the university for the opportunity to commence this assembly today. I could use this opportunity today to talk to you about how fortunate we are to have supportive friends and family who have helped us along this journey and how without them we might not be here. But I'm not. I could make reference to the stresses of university life, from assignments to exams, deadlines and last-minute submissions. But I'm not. If I really wanted to be cliche, I might even talk to you about how now, as university graduates, we're prepared to hop out into the real world and make something of ourselves. But I'm not. In fact, my plan is to do almost the opposite. Let me begin by saying that to have reached this milestone today is, of course, a great achievement. This is something that I'm sure you'll hear plenty of today. However, like many of you sitting here today, this isn't my first graduation ceremony. Just over a year ago, I sat in one of these chairs and I listened to a keynote address with the theme, "Knowledge is Power," implying that the more knowledge you have, the more likely you are to succeed. It made me think, is knowledge really power? Whatever your chosen field, today we graduate with substantially more knowledge than we had coming into university, hopefully. Are we expected then to believe that now we have graduated, we have what it takes to become the next great executives, public servants, or academics? No. In my opinion, there is something else that needs to be mentioned, and that's the importance of using this knowledge to make opportunities for ourselves. By graduating today, the university is simply saying that we have the required knowledge to potentially have an interview for a position in our chosen profession. It is now up to we graduates to take the actions required every day to edge us closer to our goals. This will mean different things for different people. For some, it might mean leaving your comfort zone behind and taking a job in another country. For others, it may mean working in an unfamiliar field. But for a large majority of us, it may mean just putting in the long hours to work our way up from the very bottom of our field. The similarity between us, regardless of our degrees, lies in this one hard fact. Just because we have graduated does not mean that we are entitled to a career. They asked me to talk about my time at university and what I've learned. So here it is. University has provided us with a foundation of knowledge and experience that we can use in our careers. But knowledge by itself only wins you the meat plate at your local pub's trivia night. Having this knowledge is not enough. The university has played its part, and now it's time for us to play ours. Thank you.
Please join me again in thanking Stephen for these reflections on his life here at Macquarie, but also for that challenge in getting us all to think about how we should step up and play our part. Stephen, thank you again. As Deputy Chancellor of Macquarie University, I especially look forward to presiding at ceremonies such as today's and conferring degrees and diplomas on those who have complied with the university's requirements for such awards. I now call on the Deputy Vice-Chancellor, Students and Registrar, Ms Deirdre Anderson, to formally certify the eligibility of those who have met the requirements for these awards.
Deputy Chancellor, I certify that all the candidates being presented here today and those who are absent have satisfied the requirements of Academic Senate for the degrees and diplomas they are to be awarded. Would all candidates for admission to and degrees please stand.
In the name of the Council and by my authority as Deputy Chancellor, I admit each of you present and those who are absent to the degrees and diplomas for which you have qualified. Please join me in giving them a round of applause.
Please be seated. Deputy Chancellor, the graduates at this ceremony are from the Faculty of Business and Economics. This is the largest faculty at Macquarie University and is one of the largest in Australia. A broad range of programs in some of the most exciting and topical areas of business and economics are offered and continue to be in high demand both domestically and internationally. Graduates from this faculty have recorded employment levels and starting salaries well above the average of all Australian business schools. Research in this faculty is cutting edge and innovative and feeds into teaching, giving students the best possible learning experience. This faculty includes research and study areas in accounting, actuary studies, applied finance, economics, management and marketing. Deputy Chancellor, I now call on Professor Anne Ross-Smith, the Deputy Dean of the Faculty of Business and Economics, to present the graduates and diplomates. Professor Ross-Smith.
Deputy Chancellor, I present to you the graduates from the Faculty of Business and Economics whom you have admitted to degrees. I present graduates admitted to the Master of Commerce. Stephen Applebaum. Andrea Del Pilar Arismendi Garcia. Chi Bin. Daniel Briggs. Ray Shi Chao. Warissa Charapum. Liang Wen Chen. Sharing Chen. Ing Wen Chen. Roju Chang. Panjani Chuprong Song. Andrean Deddy. Yu Shang Deng. Neo Long Ging. Pong Long Dong. Wei Rong Dong. Usi Dong. Holden Francis Frisoli. Nanako Fukumori. Chin-Yuan Ge. Dong Ze Guo. Rong Guo. Xiaopu Guo. Daniel Watson Hayes. Nan He. Yanan He He. Fan Huang. Xingji Huang. Nazia Jamal. Cheng Jiang. Fei Jiang. Hui Zhao. Takumi Katsurada. Xiaoyuan Kong. Nancy Lee Fan Lau. Kelvin Law. T.O. Lee. Hui Fan Lee. Jinsi Lee. Tzu Wen Lee. Zheng Li. Sifang Li. Pai Liang. Sorry, I just have to go back and apologise. I jumped a name, and that was Meng Liang, and now I'm going to announce Pai Liang. Shaw Liang. Ching Wen Lin. Kai Yu Liu. Shinra Liu. Yei Law. Ding Fei Law. Yang Lu. Sorav Mala. Fang Lei Mei. Amelia Mediwati. Amanda Melissa. Sayed Mohammed Mujtaba. Bai Wei Jung. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Arts with Bachelor of Commerce. Kin Yi Chow. Bhavna Datta. Stella Ann Higgins. David Shaw Huan Huang. Asher Morgan Callow. Kanwar Vikrant Pratap Singh. Alexandra Claire Skerritt. Nicholas Ian Arnold Smith. Bonnie Trin. I present the graduate admitted to the Bachelor of Business Administration with the Bachelor of Arts, Kanwar Prashant Hari Singh. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Commerce with Bachelor of Science, Christopher Nelson Barmali. Ichun Choi. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Applied Finance, Je Hao Chin. Chao Bing Run. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Commerce, Sanjay Adar. Bing Bai. Shelley Bennett. Lee Gang Woo. Ying Kun Bi. Taylor Brooke. Andrew Bush. Samuel Kaya. Lu Chi. Di Chao. Hong Kun Chen. Man Yip Chen. Bo Chen. Dan Chong Chen. Kanran Chen. Xiao Chen. Xingyu Chen. Kathy Kai Si Cheng. Wiley Waip Chong. Shabab Ahmed Chowdhury. King Singh Jeffrey Choi. Emily Charlotte Clinch. Andrew Corrin. Damien Crombie. Hugh Huingdon. Li Fong Fu. Yuri Gao. Joshua Mark Garber. Richard Edwin Greyburn. Shu Gu. Joanne Gore. Si Wen Gore. Chen Lu. Yang Lu. Lu Chi. Charlie Wu. Dong Jin She. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Commerce Accounting. Elizabeth Jane Africott. Rong Bo Ge. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Commerce Professional Accounting. Emma Acorn. Van Ai. U Tong, I. Muhammad Sunni Alam. Nina An. Shawan. Ronald Tek E. Ang. Chiang Wen Ao. Anushka Atukorla. Shawei Badungodge. Ming Ha Bai. Mankaran Palbatia.
Hello, brother.
Wanjiha Bayun. Alex Bratovic. Agnes Puritarma. Jason Cantore. Chi Chao. Jovi Carlo Celestino. Hui Hing Chan. No Ham Chen. Ong Lai Chen. Wai Lam Julie Chen. Stefan Chan Ting Tong Singh, who's been awarded the Vice-Chancellor's Commendation for Academic Excellence. Fang Zhang. Wee Tong Christy Zhang. Andrew Ian Chappell. Shirley Chaw. Chu Ming Chen. Charlie Chen. Su Ting Chen. Shu Yu Chen. Tylin Terry Chen. Shuju Jessie Chen. Wei Chen. Iran Chen. Mong Chung. Ifan Chung. Sang Eun Chi. Chuk Loon Choi. Chun Yan Choi. Jiwon Cho. Su Quen Chong. Pan Ing Chow. Yuri Chung. Charlotte Louise Cox. Ing E. Craig. Hugh Oswald Cropley. Laura Ann Curtis. Brendan Davey. Fang Ding. Huang Dong. Jing Dong. Chien Andy Dong. Li Jin Fan. Yen Fan. Zien Fan. Liana Fasanella. Kin Long Fong. Mario Francis. Hoi Lai Fung. Adrian John Galami. Steve Mervyn Gann. Lakbirpal Singh Gill. Noreen Nyasha Gondo. Brian Gonzalez. John Kenneth Bond Goff. Wei Wei Gao. Liu. Wei Peng Lao. Evalden Tanajaja. Chi Long Wong. Ching Ching Wong. Tiki Yung. Deputy Chancellor, that completes this morning's presentation of graduates from the Faculty of Business and Economics.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in again expressing our appreciation for that superb performance by Ms Angela Brewer. Please also join me in thanking our musicians, organist Dr James Forsyth, and on the Chinese flute, Mr Chai Chang Niu. I would also like to take this opportunity to acknowledge and thank the representatives of our alumni community, many of whom have come here today to help you with this occasion. So please join me in thanking our alumni. It is now my great pleasure to introduce our occasional speaker, the Honourable Victor Dominello, MP. Minister for Aboriginal Affairs, Minister for Citizenship and Communities. Minister Dominello studied law and practiced for 14 years, both in the Supreme Court of New South Wales and the High Court of Australia, prior to embarking on a career in politics. At the ripe old age of 28, he was elected as a councillor of Ryde City Council, and in 2008, he won the New South Wales seat of Ryde with one of the largest swings in New South Wales history. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Victor Dominello.
Deputy Chancellor, graduates, guests, I begin by acknowledging that I'm on Darug country and I pay my respects to the elders both past and present. When I was asked to give this occasional speech, I called my Chief of Staff this morning and I said to her, I'm giving this occasional speech today at Macquarie University. And she said, that's really important. I remember when I was at university and somebody gave an occasional speech and it was really an important moment for me. She said, what are you going to talk about? And before I said a word, she said, please don't talk about yourself. Once they find out you're a politician and you're going to talk about yourself, they'll go to sleep. And I said, all right, okay, I won't talk about myself. What I will talk about is goals and purpose. And what I will do is give you two examples of how goals and purpose can apply in your life. And then I'll talk about you. So the first one, goals. Recently, I was at a seminar being conducted by Professor William Barnett. Now, Professor Barnett is a senior person in the field of business, organisation and strategy, and he's at Stanford University. Very wise man. And he was talking to us about goals, corporate goals. And he said every time you go into a corporation, you could pretty much tell whether it's going to be a successful organisation because they've got three things. The first thing, they've got a clear goal. The second thing, before we run away, normally this is like Parliament, it's a division, we're going to have to put our hand up for a vote. But I assume we'll be escorted out if we need to be. I'll just talk over this. The second thing is you need to have goals that are achievable. Because if you don't have goals that are achievable, well then all you're going to have is a mission statement that says we want to change the world and we want to make everyone's lives much better. Then the third thing he said was that you've got to make sure that you deliver on those goals. Because again, if you don't deliver on the goals, then all you've got is a whole lot of statements and a whole lot of puffery and a whole lot of rhetoric about how good we are, but you don't deliver any outcomes. So a successful organisation, a gold-plated organisation that you will learn about, that you will probably take part in, that you will probably set goals for, must have goals, they must be achievable, and you must achieve them. They're the three things for critical corporate success, whether it's Apple, whether it's the Commonwealth Bank, or the like. That's the first part. That's the corporate side of things. Then, in my capacity as Minister for Aboriginal Affairs, I was recently at Government House. And whilst I was there, there was an impressive array of speakers. There was the Governor, there was Justice Kirby, who was a former Judge of the High Court. There was the Attorney General, the first law officer of our state. There was the Premier, my boss, the Premier, Barry O'Farrell. And they all gave amazing speeches, as you would expect them to do, because they were accomplished public speakers, around justice reinvestment. Now, justice reinvestment is a concept where basically government societies should put more money up front into education to make sure that people then don't go to jail. So rather than spending heaps of money on jail and building more jails, put the money into education so you stop them going to jail in the first place. Then this young Aboriginal boy, his name is Trey, he was 16 years of age, he had to come up to speak because they asked him to say a few words on behalf of Justice Reinvestment. Now, to give you a bit of background, Trey was no public speaker. As I said, he was 16 years of age. He had gone through hell and back. He had actually gone through the juvenile justice system. He came from a broken family, got involved with drugs and alcohol, and that quickly led to falling off the rail and an interface with the judicial system. So he went through hell and back. But anyway, he's now become the spokesperson for Justice Reinvestment. So he had to say a few words. So he told us about his life and his experiences in Justice Reinvestment. But as he came up to the microphone, you could tell he was speaking for the first time. He was nervous, he was shaking, and you all felt sorry for him. And he came up to the microphone, he spoke like that, and then he walked away. Because clearly it was the first time he had spoken in the microphone. It's the first time he heard the amplification of his voice. So somebody had to gently walk him back to the microphone so he could acclimatise, and then he told us about his life story. But he said something at the end of his address that was probably the most powerful thing I've heard. It was the only thing I've remembered out of all of those speakers. The only thing I remembered was this young Aboriginal boy said. And he said, "Thank you for letting me be involved in something more important than myself. Thank you for letting me be involved in Justice Reinvestment, in something more important than myself." And there, my friends, I put to you, I think this young 16-year-old boy has discovered the meaning of life. He's realised that the meaning of life is to undertake a purpose which is far greater than yourself. So that was his goal, that was his purpose, and that's his career and his life path. Now, the interesting part, let's talk about you. Clearly, amongst this sea of graduates, we have extraordinarily smart, extraordinarily ambitious, extraordinarily beautiful and handsome people, all with the drive and ambition to do things in your life. No doubt about that. But what you have, more important than anything else, is capacity. You've got the capacity now, through your education, through your hard work, through your drive, to make a difference, not just to your life, but if you choose, you now have the capacity to make a difference to the lives of others, to the lives of those less fortunate. And you may ask me, we're accountants, we're economists, we're financiers. How can we help out? We're going to be making plenty of money, we're going to be creating jobs and wealth and take part in the greatest thing called capitalism, which is arguably the greatest mechanism that we have for making a difference around the world. But you do have an ability. You see, when I go to communities, whether they are refugee communities, whether they're Indigenous communities, whether it's here in Australia, whether it's overseas, the thing that government and social policy setters talk about is capacity. Communities require people such as yourselves that have the skill sets that you have and will acquire to go into communities and provide that capacity, whether it's the organisational structures, whether it's through financial structures, because there are two great enablers in our world. One is education and the other is employment. And imagine if you could help them out by setting up their own businesses, help them out by setting up their own accounts, help them out by showing them different pathways to employment. You have that capacity. So, in conclusion, when you are going to embark, as you will, being the captains of industry that you will become, and you have to set about setting the goals of the companies so that they become the shining lights in our world, take some time to set aside some quiet moment of reflection for you and think about what your goals and what your purpose are. and what difference you can make to the lives of yourself and those less fortunate. Thank you for having me. Congratulations on being here, and I wish you all the very best in your future. Thank you.
Thank you, Victor, for a very inspirational speech and for reminding all of us that we can all do great things. I think you'd agree with me that Victor deserves a degree or award for speaking through a smoke detector or fire alarm, so please join me in thanking Victor Dominero. Graduates, this ceremony marks a change in your relationship with Macquarie University, but it's certainly not the end of your association with us. For the rest of your lives, you are part of that greater and larger Macquarie family, our alumni body, and part of a network of more than 140,000 Macquarie graduates across the globe. We will keep in touch with you through our Alumni Relations Office and hope you will come back here to attend alumni functions, to undertake more study, which I know a number of you are already doing, or simply to visit this beautiful campus. Graduates, the award of a university degree carries many opportunities and many privileges, but like all privileges, it also carries responsibilities. I urge you to commit yourselves to a program of lifelong learning and inquiry, to set ambitious goals for yourselves, and to continue the hard work that has already brought you so far. I challenge you to continue to exercise sound judgment and initiative, and to always be generous in offering practical advice and wisdom to those you meet on life's journey. My hope is that as graduates of Macquarie University, you will use what you have learned not only for your own benefit, but also for the betterment of the community. And in all you do, I charge you to uphold the good name of Macquarie University. I hope that you will also always remember the people who have helped you along the way, many of whom are here with you today. So to acknowledge their contribution and thank them for it, I'm going to ask you to do a few things. First, I'd like all our new graduates to please stand. Now, if you can place your degrees on your seats, turn around to face your family and friends and give them a mighty round of applause. You can turn around now, but don't sit down. Here on the dais are representatives of the academic staff who have supported you through your journey. Please join me in thanking them. The official party will now leave the graduation hall through the centre aisle and will be followed by our graduates. I invite everyone to stand and remain standing until the last of the graduates have processed out. Please then join us in the marquee overlooking the lake down this way for some light refreshments. Now, wishing you the best, the very best for your futures, I'll conclude with the words of an old Irish blessing. May the road rise up to meet you. May the wind always be at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face and rain fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand. Thank you.